We're going to start with feet and legs, palm pressing, and then we're going to end up stalking the tiger. And that's going to be palm pressing feet into palm pressing the legs. So whether you wait a second or you begin to follow along, either way is fine. But you watch, I'm making full contact with the whole of my hand using the full square palm press. Fingers, the attention and energy radiates through your fingers, that connectivity. So palm pressing from side to side. So at first, you're light and you're like, okay, how is your client's ankles moving from side to side? But then again, remember, we're here to afford ourselves the opportunity to sink in deeper and see where they go. Chances are we all like massage here. So they probably can accept a little bit more than we're knowingly comfortable with. But then as you get comfortable with the feet around the ankles, start bringing those palm presses up into the lower legs. At the knees, if they're reachable, circles. Now, this is the point where you have to kind of determine your length, their length, what's going on. Now, we can come to the side of the table and keep stalking, palm pressing from side to side. When you come up into thighs, you have to be a little bit more careful because then you're going to start rolling through quads. Come around the edge of the table. Follow along. Because it has a different feeling, and this puts your center of gravity, your shoulders and everything up higher. You want to be up as much as possible rather than reaching, because then you're going to have to do more work for everything. So we're coming up, but then you know it feels awkward. We're on one side of the table, so what does it feel like going up the other side of the table? Just go ahead and then after you're a little bit more familiar with this, then maybe we come back down to the bottom, and if you would like to come up on the table, kneeling at the bottom, we can start to come up and then use our tabletop posture and then our leverage. Straight arms, straight back. Of course, their feet might have to be a little bit further apart to allow you some room for your knees. So separating the feet a little bit so that you can bring yourself up. So you can also start to take maybe like a stool for the side of the table because you're not comfortable with climbing up. So a little footstool might be good for you in your practice. Those palms, let me see, go ahead and keep doing that. Let me just flip around and see where I'm gonna see what was said. I can go everywhere, but I kind of want to make sure I'm somewhere in this book for now. But these palm presses, they could also come to the outside of a leg. So if you come around the side body and palm press up the side of the leg, so you have that available. And eventually, right, you can reach across the table to the other leg, palming the inside there. Now when we're into the legs and thighs, we're usually stopping about a hand length away from the pelvis, meaning into the bulk of the adductors, the thighs, the thick of the muscle. Just stay in there, it's a good spot. Go up in there and then we're gonna palm our way out. So we're just palming, palming, palming. So these are palms. Meg? Palming, palming, palming. That we're not squeezing. Yeah. So palming, by the way, like palming is like cat palms, like bacon biscuits. We're alternating too. It's not both at the same time. It's transitional. The movement comes through our arms, through our body, from hand to hand. So all the way through, connecting with the connective tissue, fascia, muscles, the client, their breath, our breath, and all of it keeps moving through there. So did I palm that? But I didn't palm the inside of this guy. Let me palm that for you. Palming. And then we come back back down to the feet for bilateral pressing of they say calatari in here, but it's really like the arch of the foot. So thumb presses maybe right under the ball of the foot, near the big toe.
So you can actually wrap your fingers around now?
This one we're holding and we're doing
Okay.
thumb presses, but it's not massage hands, it's just thumb presses. So a lot of our strength and pressure comes from our core and body. This isn't massage arms where we're using our arms, we're actually using our body to lean in. So I'm lunging and I'm going to use my body to press from side to side through my thumbs. And everything comes from here, not here. So take your whole body and lean through your arm and lean through your arm, sinking in from side to side, and then coming into the arch of the foot, coming up into the heel. So you're like tracing that inner arch and opening up. So there's like 3 points, 5, you can create as many little thumb presses as you like. But then additionally, I mean, for today, inside the book, that arch line is the one that's mentioned, but there are several lines. You know, you could go out every line of the foot. So, you know, whether you create 2, 3, 4, or 5 lines, you know, from the heel, working your way out every toe, 5 lines. You could do 3 lines, the outsides of the foot right through the center to give it extra coverage. You know, get creative with that. Thumb press there, we'll do this Dorsi Flex. So with that, the feet come straight up, facing you like they're going to walk, so about hip width apart. And then you're pressing the feet up, nice and flat, and I press them up well enough that I see her move a little. And then roll those toes over. Nice big stretch. So with that, nice big deep breath in, client. I'm gonna flatten her feet, and on the exhale, let those toes roll back, nice and strong. Foot sandwich is taking these feet and just rotating them towards the middle. And then they say foot sandwich with a tib press. So tibialis anterior press on the front of the leg. So we're going to cross these feet over and kind of pin. So I've got her left over right, and I'm gonna pin with my left hand so that I can palm the front of the tibia. And I think we're gonna stop here so that we can then trade again. Yes, because the next one's a still point. So now this is whether this is like a thumb, like a thinner eminence press, like you can use that edge of your hand. Maybe it's just a thumb press. Later, like shoot, later we might be able to put a knee press in there, but not today. Maybe an elbow forearm roll. I like deep stuff. But then we're gonna cross the feet over, obviously, pin it to get to the other side. I like balance, so things like that, definitely trade feet. Don't just keep it pinned one side to rub both. Right?
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
Yeah, it feels different. Yeah, absolutely. So, and then a still point, just after the work, you know, maybe giving the feet a little tug, maybe just holding the feet for a moment, just recentering. That's an opportunity for you to gather beginning information about your client. You know, how their ankles are moving, how the knees are moving, hips back, what in sense and feel the tissue, what might be going on there, where relaxation might be needed later. So, all right, my dear, your turn.
Oh.